Hey everyone, welcome to the Costume Jewelry Chronicles with Lynn and Carrie. Each episode we will feature a new vintage costume jewelry designer and talk a little bit about jewelry reselling. We hope you enjoy. Well, welcome everyone to the Jewelry Call. We are on May 20th and we're talking vintage plastic jewelry today. And I'm going to share my screen and do a quick presentation here. We've got obviously vintage plastic jewelry, and plastic was revolutionized, plastic revolutionized costume jewelry in the early 20th century. And common vintage pieces included Bakelite, Lucite, and Celluloid, and they were popular from the 1900s to about the 1960s. So I'm going to break down some of the different types of plastics, and we have acrylic, Bakelite and Catalin, celluloid, and lucite. Let's talk a little bit about the different definitions of these. So we've got plastic. So plastic is a broad term for synthetic or semi-synthetic materials. Then you have acrylic, which is like lucite, is a subclass of plastic. An acrylic is also a type of plastic derived from acrylic acid or related compounds. Then we have Bakelite and Catalin, which are both phenylformaldehyde resins. They have the same basic chemistry, that's why they're on the same line, but they have different fillers and a different manufacturing process. Celluloid is a semi-synthetic plastic made from nitrocellulose and camphor. Now, the rest of this presentation isn't going to be so in chemically related. Let's put it that way. So acrylic is underneath plastic. It's a type of plastic, and lucite is a type of acrylic. Bakelite and Catalin have the same chemistry, and then you have celluloid, which is also a type of plastic. And we'll start with acrylic. Acrylic tends to be harder and more glass-like. You hardly ever run across any broken acrylic pieces or beads. And it's resistant to yellowing. It can be crystal clear, but it can be colored. And it's a thermoplastic. A thermoplastic can be melted down and reshaped. A thermoset is set in stone. The look and feel of it, acrylic is like more slick and glassy. So sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between glass and acrylic. So you have to look at all the other aspects of it. It's generally lighter weight than glass. And older plastics may be warmer, denser, and more textured. The transparency of it, acrylics are often crystal clear. They have excellent optical clarity, but they can be colored as well, which is worked into the manufacturing process. So if you look at the bead at the hole, you'll see that the color is like all the way through it. And like Bakelite and celluloid are usually more opaque and softly translucent. The smell test with acrylics usually doesn't have any smell when heated. Other ones will emit odors, but not acrylic. Then we have Bakelite. It was invented by Leo Baekeland in 1907. He was a Belgian American chemist, and it was considered the first synthetic plastic. And this jewelry was popular from the 1920s to the 40s. It has different characteristics. It's a thermoset, which, like I said, cannot be reshaped. It's heavy and dense and durable. It's often opaque and richly colored. It's slight chemical or formaldehyde smell when warmed, and it's warm to the touch versus glass. Some of the different tests to identify Bakelite include the smell test, which when you rub or heat the piece with warm water or friction, it smells like formaldehyde or a chemical odor. And then it's likely Bakelite. You have to look at all the different aspects. Simichrome polish, also you dab a little bit of simichrome polish on a cotton swab and then rub it on the piece on an inconspicuous area. And if it turns yellow, it's likely Bakelite. It could be dirty, so you got to make sure that you clean it first and get it nice and clean and then do the test. And you can do a hot water test. You dip or run the item under hot water and you sniff it immediately, and it could have a sharp chemical smell, and that could mean Bakelite. The sound test, you tap two Bakelite pieces together, it produces a distinct deep clunk sound. And then we have the different colors of Bakelite, which include butterscotch, red, green, black, brown, yellow, marbled tones. And they had a limited color range due to the early chemical process. So they're more of a kind of a muted color tone. So one day I was in the mall and I had, see if I can turn this down. And I see these big like this whole cake of baked pieces, and I thought I'd just share it with you as we're just there's so many interesting pieces. And this lady had everything at retail price, pretty much, or over. And I say that it was more than what you would sell it for on eBay, I think, in my opinion. Can you still hear me talk?
It's a little robotic, but we can hear you.
I see you say something, Carrie. I didn't hear you.
I think your internet isn't liking us right now. I bet it's
Probably
because you're
because
playing the video.
this was a pretty cool Art Deco clamper. $2,500 she wanted for it.
Wow.
Okay, now we're at Catalin. Catalin is a type of bakelite, but it was made by the Catalin Corporation starting in 1927. And it's a phenol-formaldehyde resin like Bakelite. It has no fillers, making it clearer and more moldable into colorful translucent forms. It has bright, vibrant colors like yellow, red, blue, green, and more, even marbled effects, buffed to a high polish. So it takes on a glassy, almost glass-like shine when buffed. It can be translucent, often semi-transparent compared to the opacity of Bakelite. It's heavier than modern plastics, but lighter than Bakelite because Bakelite has the fillers in it. And thermosetting, it's a thermosetting plastic. So once it's molded and set, it cannot be remelted or reshaped. So Bakelite versus Catalin. Here's a little, if you want to do a screenshot of this, you can. I do have a different chart that you might want to screenshot later on with all of the different plastics on it and all the details of it. But I just thought I would throw this in just to see it side by side, the differences. The smell tests. So when you rub or warm Catalin, it gives off the formaldehyde-like smell, just like Bakelite. If in it with the simichrome polish test, it'll turn yellow on a cotton swab when rubbed, just like Bakelite. The appearance, if the item is semi-transparent and brightly colored, especially in clear reds, blues, and yellows, it's likely Catalin. So you've seen the Bakelite ones earlier were more kind of muted earth tones. Catalin came in lots of bright colors like this blue and yellow and orange and red. It's just brighter. And it was popular from the 1930s to the 50s. Then we have Lucite, which was developed by DuPont in 1937, and it's a type of acrylic resin. And jewelry was popular in the 40s through the 60s in Lucite. It has different characteristics like it's clear, lightweight, often glossy, Now, everything I've read says it's lightweight, and I feel like that's a hard determining factor unless you've felt a lot of them, because it's heavier than acrylic, so you kind of have to weigh it off. You'll see in the final chart the differences in weight as well. So it feels smooth and glass-like. It can be completely transparent. It's usually crystal clear, or it can be embedded with glitter, confetti, or different objects, and it doesn't yellow as easily as celluloid. Some of the colors you'll see it in are clear, pinks, purples, greens, smoky tones, and you'll see embedded sparkles in it. It has a wide variety, including embedded floral designs like the bottom piece. And it is very clear, glassy, and it has no strong odor. And you put it in hot water, it has no distinct smell. If you tap it, Lucite sounds sharper than Bakelite, like a light click, and it may float in water, unlike Bakelite, which sinks. And celluloid. It was one of the earliest plastics developed in 1869 by John Wesley Hyatt. Originally, it was a substitute for ivory and used in jewelry from the late 1800s to the 1940s. It is very lightweight and flexible, and some of the thinner pieces can bend. It's a thermoplastic, so it can be melted down and reshaped. It's often has a slight grain or texture. It's not real smooth. It can be carved, molded, or pressed, and it is flammable, so be cautious. Some colors you'll see it in are creams, pinks, pastel greens, yellow, tortoiseshell. It imitates ivory, coral, and tortoiseshell. To identify celluloid, you can warm it and it smells like camphor or mothballs. You can do the hot needle test, which emits a sharp, strong smell, but it's not recommended due to its flammability. And it looks thin, and it has delicate details or an embossed surface. And it often floats because it's lightweight. So here's the chart that I said earlier that we're comparing. When you look at the density, like the lucite is light, but celluloid's lighter, and acrylic, they say, can be light to medium, depending on, I guess, the type, whatever they used in the composition of it. Colors, the Bakelite's muted, where Catalin's bright. I'm not going to go through all these, but you can maybe do a screenshot of it and have it handy when you're trying to compare your acrylic pieces. And the timeline for these, like celluloid, this was from the 1890s to the 1940s. Bakelite was from the 20s to the 40s. Catalin was from the 30s to the 50s, and Lucite was from the 40s to the 60s. Lucite and acrylic. All right, now's your test. Which one do you think this is?
Acrylic. The earrings may be lucite. The bracelet, acrylic.
Yes, very good. How about this one?
Celluloid.
Yes. See the fine details and the texture. It kind of has a rough texture to it. This one's a little harder.
Catalin on the left.
Yeah, for the rooster.
See, that's what I say,
Bakelite.
but yeah, it is Bakelite, and according to the plastic jewelry book, it says both of these are Bakelite. Now I have a train coming by. These were just some simple brooches. This one I thought maybe would represent one of the other ones a little better. What do you think it is?
Catalin.
Yes. Yep, that's what the plastic jewelry book said. These are Catalin.
A
Do
Catalin
you
is
find
a
any
type
listings?
of Bakelite, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's just the brighter colors compared to the muted Bakelite colors.
So do
And
people
this
put that in
one,
their listing or do they just put Bakelite?
I think that you could probably use both. If you're thinking it might be Catalin, there's going to be more people that search Bakelite, in my opinion. So I would, if I think it's Catalin, I would put both. If it's Bakelite and I know it's Bakelite, I'll put Bakelite, not Catalin. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these little beads right here, what do you think these are?
Acrylic.
Yep. Now this one, I went by what the book says. What do you think these are?
Well, they look like they have kind of a texture. So are they?
I'd guess the apples are Bakelite. This looks wood to me. I don't know what it is.
Looks like Bakelite.
They say they're Catalin, which to me they look a lot like Bakelite. Like the muted colors look more like Bakelite. I guess the other way to tell is when you have them in hand, you can maybe hold a piece of Bakelite in one, and these are going to be lighter weight than Bakelite. But you're going to
Wait,
have
you
to get
use
something
different types of
comparable.
clasp for Bakelite compared to the Catalin ones, or no, same type of clasp is used usually?
Clasp, I would assume it's the same type.
Okay.
The only thing different about Bakelite and Catalin is that Bakelite has additives to it. Like they put sawdust in when the manufacturing process where they don't do that with Catalin. So you might see little specks in the Bakelite pieces where the Catalin pieces you're not going to see so much. It's going to be more smooth, clearer looking, more solid, and not too many specks.
And
So
that's why
that
it
is
sounds
it.
different too. It does sound different.
Yeah. It's not as heavy because it doesn't have that heavy sawdust in it.
So here's a fun fact is my party trick is that I can smell Bakelite and I'm never wrong. It's like my one, true fun thing I have.
Do you
Rowdy is
rub
always
it
like,
first?
Mom, huh?
Do you rub it first before you smell it, or you just
Yeah, but
smell
like
it?
I can
No.
smell it. But yeah, I mean, I do to make sure, but I can smell it. And Rowdy's always like, Mom, quit
What?
sniffing the jewelry at the antique malls and stuff. Rowdy's like, quit smelling the damn jewelry. He hates that I do that. I can always
But I
smell it.
feel like you have to rub it so hard to
See,
make it
I
come
don't,
out.
but I think that it's just like how we're different. Like everybody's different because I really don't. And I'm never wrong with the Bakelite or the um even with buttons and stuff, I can tell because of the smell. Um, I don't know. Maybe I have a sensitive sniffer.
I can
It
My
smell
helps
husband
when
different
it's
watched me
car.
wines.
click something on my tooth the other day, and he's like, "Gross! What are you doing?" I said, "I can't tell if it's glass or something else."
You can always take something you know is glass and
Yeah.
tink it together. High pitched, it's glass. Anybody have any questions about the different plastics?
Yep,
Yes.
we have hands up.
Oh, sorry.
Mindy, go ahead.
I have a question about, I didn't know about the water test about Bakelite sinking. Is there any, I guess, repercussions of putting Bakelite in water, or is it just you can do it and if it sinks, it's Bakelite?
The only thing I would be worried about is if it had embedded rhinestones or something in it. You don't want to ruin the rhinestones because water ruins the foil on the back of the rhinestones.
Right, right.
Um,
Okay.
and usually Bakelite's going to be in a metal, not usually, but like I had it on a necklace, so it was in a metal setting. You know, don't really like to get metal wet too often,
I,
but
yeah, I just
you
asked
sort
because I have a bracelet that I think it might be Bakelite and I can't really tell. I don't, it's packed away somewhere. I got to get it out. But I was looking at pictures of old inventory and I'm like, I wonder if that one is Bakelite. So I thought maybe if I could find it and put it in the water and if it sunk, I could definitely say it's Bakelite. Is that right?
Yeah.
know?
Well,
So
not definitely.
some
Lucite,
acrylic
I
will
think
sink.
resistance.
Okay.
It depends on, yeah, the weight, obviously. But the other thing you can try is if you have 409 instead of simichrome
Mhm.
polish, you can test that. It does the same thing as the simichrome. It'll turn yellow.
Mhm.
Okay. All
But
right.
if you're
Thanks.
a smoker or it's from a smoker's estate, I saw somebody one time they were selling, I'm like, I do not think that stuff's Bakelite. And they're like, it's semi-chrome tested. We know our stuff and everything. And I'm like, I don't think there's any way this stuff's Bakelite. And they told me, well, I said, do you guys smoke? And they're like, yeah, we do. And I'm like, so, your Q-tip will turn yellow, whether she'd put
Everything,
semi-chrome on it or not. So that was,
yeah, everything in our house has probably got a yellow haze to it.
so, yep.
Yeah, you need to make sure it's clean before you know, test it.
Suzanne.
Suzanne?
Yes, I think the question that Catherine asked earlier alluded to this, but I've never seen Catalin advertised. It's always Bakelite, although I don't really search for that. And I don't know, am I the only one who does not know the term Catalin for the jewelry?
I
I mean,
knew it,
I
but
can
I don't
honestly
search for
say,
it.
I've
You
never
what?
I
heard
can
of that.
honestly say I've never used it.
So you primarily would use Bakelite because I thought, gosh, I missed something along the way. It's your explanations and information was very good, Lynn. Thank you. So,
Mhm.
in other words, if we didn't know, we weren't trying to like really get down to the difference between the two, it's fine to use Bakelite. And even if it were Catalin, I probably would use Bakelite because I don't think most people are. Uh, I do think they're mostly like us. They wouldn't know.
The
Well,
only
there's
time,
1,400 searches for it on eBay or on Google, so it's not a lot.
the only thing that I've known of that people are actually looking for Catalin is the old Catalin radios.
That's what I was
Like
gonna
Art
say.
Deco radios.
Yep. I think that the Google searches, a lot of those are probably for Catalin radios.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
I knew what it
thanks.
was, but only because I researched jewelry. Like otherwise I would never know. I always
And
call
Yeah,
Catalin
and
the shiny Bakelite.
I don't know if anybody would even know the difference if they were buying it. They just look at it and think it's Bakelite and buy it. So I don't think that many people are well versed in it. That's just my opinion because it's not as popular.
Yep. I would agree. I have some examples. I love selling plastic jewelry lately. It is like really, really good right now. Like in my opinion, I feel like plastic jewelry is a good seller. Bakelite, however, has taken a not great in my opinion. I feel like values of Bakelite are way down in the last year or so.
Yes, they have been.
It's just I also don't like this since the eBay update. I have to reopen all my things when I pull them up. So this one is a sold comp here of it says Lucite or celluloid. I think it's probably Lucite, but we find this stuff. I think that's why I love the plastics, is because we find this stuff and people don't always put value on them. So I really
Cool. Looks
I
like
love
Jolly
finding it.
Ranchers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do.
I was just gonna say that. It's so rad though. It's like Candyland.
You're gonna see a lot of these because I'm
Loveliness.
drawn to them and I love them. I love the vegetable and fruit necklaces because I just think they're really fun. And they sell really good. So love them. This one probably got undersold a little bit. I think you can get decent prices at these still sometimes.
Is the chain plastic as well?
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Usually.
So
Yep.
what part is celluloid? You celluloid
So the chain is usually celluloid.
okay.
And then the people used to call this French ivory, but
Huh.
we're not supposed to use the word ivory anymore, so but it's celluloid. I love those necklaces when I find them. This one was super pretty. And I think
Ooh,
if it was
yeah.
on Buy It Now, it probably would have brought more. Because it's on a really nice chain too.
Wow.
And see how each one of the flowers is individually got it through there? I thought it was really neat. I probably would have used the keywords Tutti Frutti in that too. Yeah, they probably could have got more money out of that. This is apple. So each of the Bakelite colors has a name. So like there's asparagus, there's apple juice, there's they all have like the actual name of the color of Bakelite. I don't know them all. But if you get a really cool piece of Bakelite, it doesn't hurt to try to find the name of the color because
That's
people
so
do search
cool.
by that.
That's cute.
This is, I think sometimes these just get called faux cameos and people don't think they have value and they really do. So, some of these faux cameos are very nicely carved celluloids. And I listed a carved celluloid cameo yesterday or the day before. It's already getting a lot of action. It looks like cheap plastic, but it's really old and I can tell that it's an old celluloid piece. See, like, look at these, like how we find these old plastic bracelets that have the embedded stones. This one has more embedding of the stones than I see. Lots of times I just see like one row. So this one was pretty cool. It had a lot in it, but it only had one bid. They probably could have gotten slightly more. I had to include Leah Stein because I've only found 2 or 3 Leah Steins in the wild the whole time I've been doing jewelry. So I don't know how, maybe I just don't find them. I don't really know.
I
But
had
I
2 of her
caution,
bracelets, but I've never found a brooch.
I've never found a bracelet. So I found a couple brooches, but beware that people are labeling Leah Stein brooches and they make these exact same ones that like this that from Temu. So and Alibaba sites. So we want to make sure before we put the word Leah Stein in our title that that they are actually signed, and we cannot use that word to keyword unless it is signed. So just be aware of that. I've seen a couple people get Veros, so you wouldn't think that that company maybe would be protective, but apparently it is because they will give you a Vero for it. The person I saw get a Vero for it got a Vero for just having this brooch because it was exactly the same as the one that Leah Stein makes. So they must have a patent on the design or something. So when we find these old plastic looking cameos again, take a look at them because they're usually carved celluloid. And they bring pretty good money. I thought this plastic cat brooch, and I think he has pants on, so that just makes it all the better. I mean, who doesn't need a plastic cat with pants? So
I love
I
it.
thought he was.
It looks like a devil, but I guess maybe devil
He
cat.
does look like a devil. That's why.
Well, we could have definitely called him a devil cat.
7
This
bids
is
on
really
that.
neat.
Man.
I think that this really probably could have got more money.
These prices are crazy. I am tripping off this.
I think that, I mean, I probably would have put that at 200.
Are you serious right now? $200. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think
This one,
gosh.
I was
Yeah.
I've never seen this
Oh,
one,
wow.
but it's a Coro Duet, but it's celluloid. So for 2,500 bucks.
wow.
That's amazing.
And it was recent too, and it's missing stones.
Wow.
Pretty ugly too, but boy.
Right?
Right? I saw it when I was looking for something else. I'm like, hey, I think we're doing a plastics call. I'll talk about it.
Oh.
350 bucks.
Mm.
My guess is it's the set, and it's got some really nice molding to it. It's got a lot of nice, textures.
Unreal.
Look at these. $295.
People got too much money. Just-
A word to the wise on these, if you ever get these. So I had like 50 of them, and I'm not even exaggerating. I stored them in a plastic bag. They disintegrated. Like the
Oh,
plastic in the like
no.
I don't know what kind of chemical was in them, but they like melted, they crumbled.
My gosh.
So be careful how we store them.
What makes hair combs like really expensive like that compared to other ones that aren't? I mean, I didn't realize they could even go for that much. I mean, they're
Jewelry,
really
yeah,
Art
hair
cheap at
combs can
home.
be.
They're
The
jewelry.
Art Deco, that's
Mhm.
what did it, was the Art Deco period.
Well,
Mhm. Here's an embedded Bakelite. If you can find the real oversized ones, I think that's probably the big selling point on this one, and that it had these embedded in them, or the dot ones, the ones that have the dots injected into them, they do really well still. And some of the animals still do pretty good.
See, crystal, that looks like wood too.
Yeah.
Mhm. A lot of them do.
That's a lot for a little animal.
Mm-hmm.
This one, it's kind of it's for one, it's hinged. So the hinged Bakelite bracelets seem to bring a little more money. And the color is pretty nice on this one.
That's
But in
beautiful.
general, Bakelite is definitely down. So here's a word, Faturan, is that what it is? I've looked into this before because I think I had some, I've had it before, but I couldn't necessarily tell you much else about it besides I had to go down the rabbit hole of it one time. But it looks very similar to all the things we talked about today. Here is another one. So it's got the multi-tone, but it says Bakelite or celluloid. So I guess if you buy this, you're on your own. Pretty cool though. Probably would have brought good money no matter what it is. But it still does, I think it's cool that we can get this kind of money out of plastic bracelets. These, do not throw these away. I've sold them for really good money. I've had one of them just like this. It had the rope on it and everything, sell for $50. And they look like plastic junk.
It makes me just want to go through the boxes I have of, like things I'm going to lot up, like a critter lot or something, and pull out all the
So
plastic.
this one,
Look at it again.
tell me, Lynn, what made this particular one worth that? Is it that word,
Yeah.
whatever, Bristol?
Uh,
What does that
I
mean?
don't even know what that means. That's
Why
the
don't you?
part, like them bangles are a lot of times are hard to tell. You have to go by the weight. The newer ones are so cheap made and they're real lightweight. I don't know. I'm gonna look up Bristol.
It says it's a type of bakelite. I just looked it up. A synthetic resin that's known for its translucent or dichroic color changing properties. Crystal
Ah,
bakelite is a specific type of bakelite that can be translucent or appear to change colors depending on the angle of light. So speaking of that, then would you use resin in any of these descriptions?
Not
Or
if
is
they
that
were
its
Bakelite.
own category?
no, I wouldn't use it.
No.
I would
Do
just,
you,
I mean, it's a type of plastic. You could use plastic as another word.
do you think plastic would sell something more than resin would?
Absolutely.
I don't think certain, let me look up the difference in chemical between resin and acrylic.
Well, I think when she said plastic, and I think plastic jewelry right now, people are searching that term more than they would like resin jewelry.
yeah, because resin makes me think of the things you can get at Hobby Lobby and make at your house.
The little
Yeah.
statues or figurines or something.
So this is plastic. I feel like this Trifari necklace gets overlooked a lot because it's plastic. So
Yep.
that's why I brought that one up.
I've
I feel
got
like
it.
people toss this one aside thinking it's cheap.
And it comes in different colors too, black and white.
Yep, it does. So Schultz is a very well-known Bakelite, especially bangles. I don't know if they made anything else or not, but I've only found the bangle and I've only found it once. That was
That's
really good.
cool.
And they are usually they can be signed and numbered. But yeah, really good. Very collectible. Schultz bangles are very collectible.
But that didn't
Here
look
No,
is
like
to me that would have
bakelite to
been
me because
Catalin.
it had some see-through areas. To me, that would be more Lucite
Lucite. Yeah, it
Instead-
looks like it,
instead of
but
Bakelite.
I think it's Catalin. I think that's why.
So Catalin can be
Catalin-
more
Bakelite.
see-through.
Yes.
Yeah.
And has the blue tones and yellows and
Yep.
bright colors.
Mm-hmm. So if you found this ugly carved bangle sitting on a table at a garage sale for a quarter, which could happen for sure, just remember it could be $300. This is what I was thinking of when you showed that one in that
Oh,
case.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should buy that. She had hers marked at 2,500. She ain't gonna
It sold
get
pretty
that.
quick. This is a sold price. Yeah. Yep. So these, sorry, my cat is like having Olympics on the back of the computer here. The ones they call these bow tie Bakelite, and I've only found one of these once, so I don't know that they're made very often, or I just don't find them. I'm not really sure. But bow tie Bakelite, good money. Make sure you keyword it as bow tie Bakelite. Here's another Schultz, but any of them that have those dots in them seem to do pretty good. Not that good, maybe, but good. See, there's the marking again. The only one I ever found, I thought it was all scratched up because I saw that. So, but it was really just signed. So here's a butterscotch, and sometimes they'll call it infused, but always put the number of dots in the title because collectors want to know how many dots there are. It's hard to tell sometimes in pictures when you're just turning it. These are also ones you can find, guys. These little fruit dangle ones that look like plastic. So that's why I love the plastic category so much, because we find this stuff laying around. We just have to know what it is and know enough to title them. So here, they say this is Miriam. I don't know if I saw that it was signed or not.
It's ugly.
They're little Chinese lanterns.
Not my favorite.
I don't know if it's my favorite either, but I really would like $400.
Absolutely.
I don't know that I like it, but this one surprised me. I don't know if it's just the subject matter, but I mean, can't you guys see these little plastic things getting tossed? People are like, oh, look, grandma had a bunch of little plastic crap. Let's throw it away.
Oh,
So
yeah.
here's the other one that made me think of the one you showed, Lynn.
That's just
Yeah.
crazy, insane.
$3,600 sold comp. So
Do
you're,
we know why it's called Philadelphia?
yeah, they had manufacture, isn't it? Depending on where it was created.
Ah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they said it's
Yeah.
laminated.
In an Art Deco show in Philadelphia.
Huh.
Yep. So your person at your antique mall is probably not that far off. In fact, might be a little bit under market.
Well, when you average them to, oh, that was the actual sold price. Yeah.
That was the sold. These are all sold prices.
Oh,
Those would be
my-
good for estate sales too. You just like jab them to sides if they get too close to you.
Very true. So the cherry Bakelite always seems to bring the most money, like a necklaces. But if you handed it to me, would I be able to tell you for sure that it was? Because there's different shades. I don't know that I would be able to tell you. But man, cherry Bakelite, if you look that up on eBay, brings really good money. Look at these little vegetables. On auction, $1,692. They're not even cute vegetables.
It's the eye of the beholder on stuff. That's crazy.
Little random injection dots, $1,200. It was ended. However, I have seen them go for 1,000 on eBay. So, that was my plastics, which I really, really enjoy. I'll show you my solds real quick while I'm sharing my screen here. I don't think I had anything too
into it. So are we all are now too.
I told you I love plastic jewelry. It's like my thing. I need help with this, Lynn. What is this? So it's super heavy, like oddly heavy, like very dense. Whatever these are, they're really dense and they're old. They're on string, like they're individually knotted.
Is it ice cold?
No.
That's another one of them.
But they're all varied. They're all two-toned. They're hand knotted in between.
No idea, but the
Um,
color butter yellow is trending right now last time I checked, so I put butter yellow.
I don't know what it is. It's
Yeah,
not,
who
it's
knows,
cold, so it's not plastic, but it's not ice cold. It's not like stone cold.
Are the little white
don't-
circles from your lighting, or is that
No.
in the?
So yes, the little white circles are, but the two-toned is there. So it's like half
Oh, okay.
milky colored, half yellow on every bead.
Huh.
Yeah, but
So
that
these are,
that brings
the
up a
odd part
point.
about it is if you put it in your hand, it's oddly heavy. Like just,
Has anybody asked you guys all the jewelry you sell? They've never said, "Oh, I thought that was part of the design," not thinking it's the not
yeah, sometimes,
light.
but people that collect jewelry know that like
Yeah,
that's
that I
stupid.
know. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I know.
It's a pain. I
When that
can't
happens,
fix
I just
it.
put sorry, please excuse the reflections. It's not my
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like it does look like there's a little circle.
It does. I agree, but I can't figure it out how not to have it happen. So, I did reach out to a jewelry person this morning and ask them about this, but I don't think they knew either. So I was hoping one of you guys be like, yeah, how come you don't know this? This is what it is, because that would be helpful.
Really don't know. I don't want to say anything that I have no idea.
How are you going to price it?
So she said she did respond back. She says she thinks it's glass. It could be. Very weird glass.
What about amber?
Is it
She said
cold or
she
warm?
thinks it's either it's not real cold. I mean, it's not really very
Like,
cold. It's not as cold as I thought it would. I mean, it's not cold. This is what she
so
said.
it's
She
not
goes,
as
or
cold as what
amber, but amber
glass?
wouldn't feel heavy.
Yeah, that's
And it's
where
heavy.
I'm.
Super dense. Might just be weird glass. I don't know. I'm gonna price it up because it's weird. It's different. It's
Yeah, I
old.
would.
It came in a very old lot, so some of my sales are not super amazing that I wanted to share, but sometimes our sales aren't amazing. And maybe I have this underpriced, but I get these all the time, and sometimes I don't even list them, and this sold like in a second. I don't know.
Wow.
Am
That
I
is
way
odd.
off? Or like, do you guys sell
No,
these for? No? Okay. I
I
was like, wow, what was
see
I
them all
doing
the time
wrong?
too.
I've seen
They're
more
just
people
stubborn.
buying those caged, like they put the word caged
I
gemstones,
didn't even
caged.
use that word.
I
I should
know,
have. I
but
should have.
I think that's what
Oh,
people look.
go back once. Go, that has that old clasp, doesn't it?
It was. I thought I was stretching a little at 40, but it sold in like seconds.
So it may be a really old one,
Yeah.
like
It
early
could, yeah,
1900s.
it could be. I don't know. Regardless, I was happy with my 40 bucks. So if they make money off of it, good for them. I was pretty happy with 40 bucks. Here's another one, not an amazing sale, but it was like really worn, like the color. It was actually in a junk lot because of the gold tone loss. I mean, you can tell in my pictures, there's gold tone loss. But it sold almost instantaneously too. So, hey.
Who knew Gloria could bring any money at all? Good to know.
Did you say that in the description, Carrie, that it was gold
Oh,
tone
yeah.
also? You just make it
Yeah.
obvious. Okay.
Yep. Gold tone wear. And you can tell in the pictures, like it's
Yeah, for
pretty.
sure. Yeah. Mhm.
But
Mhm.
hey.
Hopefully it
Don't
doesn't come
sleep.
back.
Yeah, and so that lady buys from me a lot, so I'm hoping it doesn't. She probably, I don't know what she does with. She buys stuff that I wonder about sometimes. This Mason's pin, it didn't take very long to sell, but I get big bags of Mason pins all the time. So if you find big bags of masonry pins, oh, the reason that was a little lower is because it was broken. It's supposed to have a chain on it, but it was broken.
How
This is
big
an
was
old,
it? Real little?
it was really tiny. Yeah, it was really tiny.
Because
I showed it on the
I don't know,
ruler.
I have a bunch of them. I don't know if I've listed them yet, but I don't think I feel like I listed them and don't have that high of a price on them.
They usually never last more than a week. I usually sell right away. I pick them up whenever I can. This is like a really weird little fish box. So while it didn't bring very much money, I was just kind of, it was weird and odd and kind of cheap feeling. And I almost threw him away, but he sold for $27, so I'll take it. You guys know I love my match safes. I bought this on eBay for $40. Flipped it on eBay.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
It is
It was very
gorgeous.
nice. But I look for them on eBay all the time. I buy them and resell them on eBay all the time. It was sterling. And you know, I love my girl Heidi Doss. So it sold for full price pretty quick too. And here's, you know, even though I have a resident watch guy, I don't ask him to put batteries in my things. And it sold for 90 bucks without the battery. And I bought a whole bunch of these for $5 a piece because they had them listed as Joan Rivers because it said JR on them. That is Judith Ripka. This was super cool. I took an offer of 75 on it, but it was riddled with verdigris and I wasn't messing with it. So it's old. Hopefully it doesn't all fall apart. Glad Jed got to ship it. It was pretty fragile. I did pay $15 for this set, so it wasn't a huge profit, but I knew it would sell because it was neat. And this looked like cheap crap and it felt cheap. And I can't believe people paid $90 for them. It sold like right away too.
Gary, on that one that you said was riddled with filigree, can you show that? Because I couldn't tell.
Well, it's just got this, yeah, see?
Okay.
It's got that crud, it's growing stuff.
All right.
Now, I've seen Vendome plastic pepper necklaces, and they don't sell for that much. And you would think vegetables,
Because they're not
plastic.
Bakelite. Those vegetable ones are Bakelite.
Okay. Because
See,
those
it's
look
got
like
that.
pink peppers.
Well, they just had they're just so full of crud that I knew I wasn't going to get top dollar for it, but I figured it was worth 15. And then I started thinking about it and I thought, who wants stuff with crud all over it? But anyway, I don't know that it was a great purchase, but it was neat looking. But yeah, boy, these don't feel very well done, but it sold right away. So great. They can have it. So not an amazing week, but it was pretty good and it's going pretty good. Larry says crazy multi-item sale yesterday and today. 4 Houston rodeo pins, 2 in the 90s, 20 each, 2 in the one buyer, 200 bucks. So I had 2 $580 buyers this weekend. So yay for multi-quantity orders, guys. We need to keep that up. I am all about fill that dang box up and let me ship it to
Yeah,
you.
I didn't even know about these things until I bought a box of jewelry from my my 1-800 got junk guy that had that one weird earring clip thing that I sold through anyway. In there was a box of these things, including the pretty much all of these. In the whole box, I think I paid 65 bucks. So these things I've been selling off. I probably have sold off half of them. And this buyer, these I had 2 in the 60s, and here they are. And I was asking 100 bucks each just because I figured, they're worth a ton. And yeah, this is another one of those little honey hole pockets of purchase that just keeps on giving.
Yep, there's some of those pins are great, guys. Oh, I will somebody else share with what they had. So I have a Sarah Coventry listed for $165. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Everybody's like, what? You're crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna hold on to it for you guys know I'm all about a quick flip, but I'm gonna hold it. I have it on auction, but I'm not gonna probably I've never seen it. Maybe you guys have. I have not. There it is. It is, let me share my screen. They're all sterling.
Wow, I didn't know she had all sterling.
Their
It was a
anniversary. It's an
special one.
anniversary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
I've never found this one, so
nice.
this lady must have this was from the bathtub jewelry lady. That's the gift that just keeps giving. Um I had a bunch of those Sarah Coventry sets, and now I know why. I think she must have been it. That's also the where I got the gold, the solid 10 karat gold pins, the Sarah Coventry pins were from her too. So she must have sold a lot of Sarah Coventry.
Gary, what about your jewelry purchase from California? Have you looked at it yet?
Yeah, so when I bought that, I knew I was just it was like a lot in liquidate. I pulled out enough individual things that like the really nice sterling out of it, and we'll sell it individually, but the rest I'm gonna lot into like QVC lots and try to sell them on the QVC website, like the Facebook site. Um People that collect that stuff are on there, so I'm just gonna try to sell them off the lots as a quick flip. But I pulled out the good sterling. It'll pay for it. Just the good sterling will pay for it. I don't have time to process all of it individually.
Well, Lynn,
I
you
had a
said
good
you had a great sale, so let's see.
I sold a pair of Weiss earrings for $76.
Hey,
Good deal.
I gotta run. Have a good day, folks.
See you, Larry.
See you,
Hi, Larry.
Larry. I'm looking to see if I have anything else that's decent. I had a real pretty brooch. Let me just share it.
Thanks, Lynn, for your presentation. It was really good as usual.
Mhm.
You're welcome.
Those are nice.
So this,
that's
yeah, this sold for 63. Has that looks like candy corn, like a half candy corn. It's got that giveaway. And here's the earrings. They just have this weird stone in them. That's what made them
yeah.
sell, I guess. I don't know. I
Well,
just had a lot of sales. I didn't have a whole lot of, high-end sales, but it seems like they were good, solid sales, $40 and $50, 30 to 50.
that's great.
That is.
And those
Yeah.
earrings you had is gamatic. What is that?
Yeah, I wanted to ask that too.
It's the faceting on it. It's just like it's like there's no rhyme or reason to the facets on it. It's real
It
kind of
looks kind
choppy
of like just a
looking.
rock, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
They were
Thanks.
unique for Weiss too. Like I imagine a Weiss collector might like that because it was different. Anybody else have anything to share or any questions to ask before we shut
I
our recording?
I do have some questions.
Okay.
So this is one of those presentations you did such a good job, Lynn, but it leaves me with more questions because now when I look at plastic stuff, like I'm going to share my screen. Like I have this brooch that's plastic. It kind of looks like mother of pearl in the background, but it's not. And then it has these sugared plastic
Them
beads.
them are considered celluloid, I'm pretty sure, because I've seen one in the book that looks a lot like that. I had it on my celluloid screen.
So what would you
Kind of
price it
looks
as? I'm just confused about pricing because I
$29.99 at my store.
don't know what I priced it at. $19.99,
So can I help you with your title?
Yes.
So we start big, right? We start wide audience. So you got to get all the way to the end before we know it's a brooch.
Okay. So just vintage brooch.
Well, you could do so vintage flower brooch. You could do vintage beaded brooch, vintage something. But that first chunk of words, we're going wide. We're going for a big audience.
Uh,
and then start narrowing down. So like I totally agree with your keywords. But the order I feel would help you.
How's that?
I think you can use the word celluloid on that. I agree with Lynn.
Instead of
something we-
plastic or with it?
And
I
something
think
else we didn't
celluloid
mention
would
is
be better
Yeah.
than plastic.
I
Well, you could
agree.
leave plastic in there at the end.
Is the seams. So sometimes we can tell how old something is by the seams in the jewelry, or the lack of seams in the jewelry.
Yeah. I think you'll
Okay,
see
and then-
seams in the newer stuff.
Like if you just type in vintage plastic necklace and then I put ending soonest, right? Some of these,
Looking for solds.
no, these are just
Nope.
the ones that are on auction. I gotta find it. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. And I was thinking, well, like this one, lucite and black faceted plastic necklace, right?
Mhm.
So it's for $7.99. Well, would that sell for a lot more or would it not sell for a lot more?
It's like 70s plastic, in
So
my
it would
opinion.
Yeah, it's on auction though.
That too.
You mean for sniping, Catherine?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. That one didn't make me say wow, so I wouldn't snipe it because I would be like, oh, no one else is gonna say wow
And then
either.
like this
That's cool,
cool
though.
one with the grapes.
That's cool.
It
Not
is
cheap, though.
cool. On a good
But
day,
it's
you could
good-
probably get 50 or 60 for it, but the starting bid's too high for me to want to
Right.
snipe it.
Right. I thought it was too high as well, but it's like that I
It was
could see
cool.
getting more. And then like this
Mhm.
one with the fruit.
Those were super mass produced, so you got to know the aging, so I would look close at the details, whether it looked like a new one. And then I would also use the word, people use the word Carmen Miranda for some of those.
Oh yeah.
But that's too high price to snipe, right? If it was like $5, I'd get it.
Yeah, I would not. No.
Yeah.
If it was the older one, I might.
Yeah, the ones
but
with like the
not-
dangling charms are better, I think.
And like this one is a 1940s.
it's
They
just a
have
little
buying
high
Interesting.
for sniping.
$40.99 or on bid for $28.99.
I don't know, that's probably a $50 one, you think? 40, 50?
I would agree. Yep. It's probably $50 necklace. Mhm.
So do the older ones have seams or not seams? I would think the mass-produced ones would have seams, right?
Yes.
Yeah, honey, I was
Yeah.
talking about
And Bakelite never has
the
seams, right?
message from
Right.
Cody.
Right.
You want to mute
Well-
Suzanne when she's on the phone.
And then like, couldn't that be Bakelite?
Oh, okay, honey. That
Oh, that you can't see the clasp very well. It's blurry, but there it is.
It could be.
It could be Catalin or it could be acrylic. It's really hard to tell without having the weight in your hands.
Right.
It looks old with them, the type of them beading
Mhm.
in between.
Mm-hmm.
I snatched up
Oh.
a huge plastic bangle lot last night from a non-jewelry seller on eBay for $50 and had tons of good stuff on it. And but it was such a mix. Like you could tell he's not a jewelry seller because it was such a mix of ages. Like some of it's the cheap stuff, and then some was really old. To tell he just threw what he had together.
Yeah, one thing I've learned to do is like when I go to sold listings, and if it's like an item that should have gone for a lot more and it's just a low price, I go to that seller's website because I think, well, maybe they don't know much about jewelry or they sell a lot of other things besides jewelry and have some other good deals.
Mm-hmm. I do that too.
Anyway, it's just confusing to know like what would you buy and what would you price it for? Like this one
Well, I
looks
buy
really
low.
cool.
I'm looking for $5 and less usually.
Yeah,
Unless
if I don't
it's
know
a
what it
very
is, I'm not gonna
unique
spend $18.
No.
If
Yeah.
I'm not sure that it would sell for more, you know.
You know, I'm the opposite. Like I'll absolutely put down a 20 on something. But like that Whiting and Davis didn't phase me at all to put
Yeah,
20
because you
bucks on
knew
it.
though, for sure.
But
Like
I
if
That's
knew.
yeah.
But I
yeah,
knew.
that's not what, yeah. I'm saying, yeah, on an average piece that is unknown, $5. But yeah, if you have something that's really unique that
Well, this looks
you've
really
seen
unique,
before,
but
that
I don't know that I'd pay 18 for it.
you
Because
almost
after
have to
eBay
have
fees when
seen
you
it.
resell it, because you'd have to pay like at least was it 24.50, and then you pay the fees on it. So like add 40% or whatever. Like that's
Right.
a
I
lot.
agree with Lynn when it's the feel of a lot of this plastic stuff. It's the feel of you can tell like because they made a lot of this stuff in the 60s and 70s that isn't worth hardly anything. But then the early stuff, it does feel different. And just like the old, do you remember Lynn when I got that huge French celluloid lot and I threw it all in the garbage can, and then you happened to have a really cool necklace of it, and I was like, what, you sold that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a whole garbage can full of that stuff. I had to go dig it
To
out of
go
the
dig it
garbage.
back out.
It was all the baby blue too, and it was because I just thought it was cheap plastic. Like, who the heck wants this stuff? And I threw it all away. Good
So
thing
it's
Lynn had her
is
good sale the same day.
the feel
One
heavy?
more question. I have like, this kind of, to me, this would be lucite because you can kind of see through it,
That's pretty though. I like
but
that.
it's a really cool bracelet.
Uh-huh.
Is it
So that would
Yeah.
probably, I was
What's the
thinking like,
weight?
Is it heavy or light?
light. I would say light.
So it's a newer one.
So
So
like $29.99
Yeah.
less.
No. 25 to 29, yeah.
I was gonna
It's
say
And this
28,
unique,
one is
so
29,
also
somewhere in the
light.
ballpark.
It's just a funky shape though. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like kind of curves and it's narrower
yeah, I like
toward
them.
one
They
side.
usually sell for like $19.99,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
When you get
Or
the
I
old
list
ones,
them
they're
at that.
really like, I think I have one right here. They're really heavy.
And then this is
Dense
heavy and it
one.
makes a clinking noise, but it doesn't
That's
feel like stone when you touch it. It feels like plastic.
plastic. It's probably just acrylic.
Yeah, that sounds like acrylic.
Okay.
So like here's an older one that I ran across in my lot the other day, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really, it's heavy. It's not,
Okay.
yeah.
So really you're better off,
Bakelite
instead of
or is it-
sniping, you're better off just going to the thrift stores and whatever and actually feeling.
I haven't sniffed this
when
one
it
yet. I
comes
don't
to
think it's Bakelite.
plastic,
Oh yeah, it is, but it's older. Like it's I don't know what you call it. It just feels, it's not like a really light plastic. It's
yeah, like it could be lucite, but just
yeah, it's
colored. I
because
don't
like
know.
some of
I
those,
would just call it acrylic.
yeah. Oh, I am. But I bet you if I price this at $39.99, it won't be there next week.
Yeah, it's cool. I have this little Santa Claus that is celluloid.
Look at him.
Does he light up?
Can you hear that? No, it just like lit up with my
Oh, okay.
computer screen.
He's neat.
But yeah, he's got a tink sound to him. I don't know if you can hear that.
Don't sleep on Cracker Jack toys, which are also
I
plastic.
was gonna
They sell
mention
really
that.
well. Yep,
Here's
Cracker
all
Jack
my
toys.
Bakelite.
Pretty.
I've been keeping them. I don't know why, because I like them. Trying to see if I can collect all the colors.
I don't know what this is, but this came in that same lot. I paid $10 for all it. It's all dirty. I gotta clean it, but I'm not sure what it is. I think it's just plastic, but those big chunky carved plastic ones will still bring $40.
This
I
was
love the
fun.
plastic jewelry.
Celluloid piece too. It's kind of, you could bend it if you really wanted to. It's a little bit flexible.
Yeah, I
It's
used
got
to throw
that
those away.
thin filigree design to it.
I don't anymore, but I used to throw those away. That French celluloid that I had, it looks dirty a lot of times. Like the old stuff
Yeah,
does. Like I think it does. It
it
gets that
does.
dirty look. So I told Lynn that I got that lot in. I'm like, and it's crap, and I threw it all away. And then I was describing it. She's like, "Are you sure it wasn't?" I'm like, "Well, it was all dirty. Look at it." And I looked, and I ended up selling for really good money. But I would have Lynn saved the day, and it had all the little cowboy horses and the unbunking Broncos and stuff and everything. I just threw it all in the garbage. I'm like, I cannot believe they sent me a bunch of plastic crap, and I just threw it all away. So that's when I started learning not to do that. Yes, yeah,
That's celluloid.
yeah.
They make bracelets like this too, and I sell them every time I get them. I sell them
Mhm.
fairly fast, not immediately, but
And even the carved flower ones that never used to seem like much, they're doing really well now than they didn't used to. Oh yeah, the charmed plastic necklaces are good too. And I think Crystal had told me a long time ago what to put them in the like amusement whatever category instead of the jewelry, and mine did sell better. Like sold right away when I changed the category.
What do you
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
amusement
that's
category? Like
it's a
within
Yeah.
jewelry?
collectible. It's a collectibles category.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's like collectibles, novelty. If you just look up, if you get one and you look up bell charm necklace, then just see what categories the others are in, and you'll want to go with the collectible one, not the jewelry one.
Yeah, because mine hadn't sold, and then as soon when Crystal had said that and I changed it, it sold right away.
Speaking of
oh,
categories, I have a question.
Mhm.
Um, I'm 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 listing some lots of things. Like, would you list it as let's say it's a lot of different types of jewelry. I will list it under vintage jewelry lots. I think that's a category. Um, but then if it's all one type of like all brooches, I'll list it in the brooch category. Which one do you think would sell better? If it was in a lots category or if it was in the jewelry category? I mean, it's still jewelry, it's just a different.
If it's just like 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever, I put them in that category. But if it's a big lot, I put them in the lots. What do you guys do?
I usually, if it's all earrings, I'll put it in the earring category. Not saying that that makes it sell any better. That's just what I do. I
Yeah.
have like 90 earrings in one lot, and it's got a lot of interest. Nobody's bought it yet, but it's got a lot of watchers, so the price is just probably too high, but it's in the earrings category.
I say
Okay.
try out both ways because for me, like so far, it's been better to put it. I always just put them in the lots category, the vintage lots category if it has like a piece of vintage in it. Because that way you can put all the brands too, if you have a lot of different brands. Because
Oh,
if you
okay.
put just the earrings one, then it's like you only can pick one.
True.
I forgot. Before we go, I'll share my blow up my category here. Actually, I'm gonna share it after we turn the recording off because I don't want to blow up this because it's one of my staples I list all the time for really good money. So I'll share with you guys, but I don't know that I want to publicize it yet because then I won't be able to
All
snatch
right,
them up anymore.
then I'm going to share my screen and ask you a question real quick. So here's what I was talking about, the Order of the Eastern
Yeah.
Star.
Mhm.
I only have it listed at $35 and it's been up for about a month. So
You
what's
have
the
the theme
difference?
listed as Masons for one, and you don't have the word Masons in your title.
You're right.
And
What'd
maybe
you
if
say
we
the
move
theme?
Eastern Star up or whatever, because like for me, because I've tried it both ways, if I do it too broad with just starting off things with vintage brooch, I feel like it always gets lost maybe because it's too
The
broad. So I was
Masons,
trying to
yeah,
find
for
like
sure.
one keyword to put in between the words.
I agree.
All right.
Yep. All
There you
right,
go.
good call, guys. Thank you so much.